I got cussed out twice yesterday, man. How y'all doing today? I hope that everybody's doing well, staying safe. however you gotta do it, man. So my father was speaking once, right? And he was, I'm paraphrasing, don't quote me. He was sharing that, the individual comes in late in the middle of the conversation. They hear something they don't like. They make their decision, bam, and they're gone. Never stay long enough to get the understanding. Oh, I experienced that with someone yesterday. They look to engage me in a conversation concerning what's going on in America and leaving America and so forth and whatnot. This is someone who, from what I understand, has studied the messenger's teachings. And I look to engage them in a conversation to find out, where they were really coming from. However, you read what they were posting, you could see that their refinement and how they approach situations could be stepped up a few notches, or they could use some assistance. So I began to ask them questions, and they weren't really apt to answer them. And then I got accused of being a House Negro. Like, whoa, buddy. You really don't know who you're talking to. You really don't. And I'm not saying that to big myself up or nothing. I'm just saying you really don't know me from Adam. Like, you don't. Like, for you to even come out your face like that, it's like, but again, this is not about him. It's not about this individual. It's about the principle. And it's good. I'm glad that it came out. They say get knowledge, get wisdom. But in all of your getting, be sure to get the understanding. So while I was looking to understand him, he wasn't really expressing very much patience to understand where I was. And that's fine. There's quite a bit of us here who've been through some things, and it causes us to be somewhat calcified and unthinking. It's not, somebody start asking you questions like, oh, who's you? This goes left field. The point of it is, if we're always looking to understand, especially dealing with other people, if we're always looking to understand the other individual, not looking to make sure the other individual understands us, because I'm definitely guilty of that. Spend less time. Try it. Don't take my word for this. It works. Trust me. If you spend less time focusing on getting someone to understand you and focus more on understanding them, it puts you in a natural position of being a servant to your fellow man. You could say woman, she's already really included in that equation, but if that's how you want to word it, you go right ahead. Because where we are today in society, we have so many varying thought patterns and processes, and I like this and I don't like that, and I want to do this and yada, yada, yada. People looking at each other sideways. Why is a person like that? Do you know what happened in their childhood? Do you know what school they went to, what the curriculum was like? You know what's going on with them at work? They might have an ill relative. They just got dumped by their girlfriend. Do you know any of that? So when the person comes at you like they crazy, it's like, I wonder what caused that reaction. And you take a moment and say, look, okay, they must be dealing with something, or they're possibly dealing with something. Let me be the humble one and look to understand what's taking place with them. How may I serve you? You don't have to say it like that. Say, hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? Ease your way into the conversation with them and really listen to them. And you don't listen so much to the words. You listen to the rhythm of what they're saying so you understand what's really going on. Because some people will tell you a lot of things or impart to you, share with you a lot of things, and it won't come through in their words. It'll come through in their body language. It'll come through in their expression. It'll come through in how they look away from you and what they don't say. These are the things we pay attention to. Our lives will be a lot more grand. Yes, of course, you just want to be devilish. So I went over the situation, where this individual was, coming at me. And I'm not going to lie, I had to make sure I didn't get my feelings about it a little bit, because I felt kind of bad, like, man, you just dissed me, man. But hey, I had to say, James, that probably has absolutely nothing to do with you. I've spoken to that man maybe 2 or 3 times. Every time I've interacted with him, it's pretty much been the same thing. He says something, I try to understand where he's coming from, I share something back with him, and his response is usually either really quick, inflamed, heated, or you do this now or else. Again, I don't know what his experience in life is. I do not know why. So instead of me reacting to that and making the problem worse, being someone who's got a problem with him because he got a problem with me, I'm going to take the back seat. I'm going to humble myself and say, you know what? I'm going to look to serve you if you would allow me to. And look to understand. Even if you cut me off, you say you never want to talk to me again. When you come back around, when you stop being upset, I'm still going to be here. Get knowledge, get wisdom, get understanding. And unless you look and leave the planet sometime soon, it's a repetitive, it's a revolving process, period. You get knowledge, you get wisdom, you get understanding. Because you can get knowledge and have the wisdom, know how to use it, and still don't really understand it. You just do it and it works. You got to explore it, apply it, live it, share it, make it a consistent process. Those are the things that are going to cause you to develop as a person. And when you do that, what's happening is you are giving a gift to everyone else. Because you're improving yourself, what that does is make you a shining example for others. It's always better when you're an example, rather than, barking down somebody's throat about it. Just be the example to the best of your ability. So the next time you find yourself in being confronted with a bunch of tongues wagging at you, a bunch of energy that's like, oh, what's happening? Unwarranted. Remember being the example. Have patience. Look to understand, why is this individual coming at me like this? Don't say, oh, you disrespecting me and all. Let all that go. That's what your enemy taught you to do that. And when I say enemy, I know a lot of us, we deal with things a different way. When I say enemy, I mean anyone who's carrying the thought process to keep everyone separated and divided, from a standpoint of operating in power as opposed to being a slave or a servant, being controlled, a little drone. That's what I'm speaking about when I say enemy. So the more you can ward off BS that's coming at you, that somebody's dumping at you, and look to see how you can serve them or how you can grow from it, the more your life will begin to flourish. Again, you don't have to take my word for any of this. Just try it. If you found any of this to be valuable, or you think anyone can benefit from it, share it. Thank you for watching. Love, peace, and happiness.